From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, June 5th. It's going to be another beautiful, warm day. In fact, it's going to feel warmer than the days before. Highs are going to be the mid-80s, but we're going to have more of that humidity. Thickness is sort of returning for the summer. And watch out, this is going to build up for storms tonight. Potential for some rain this weekend, too.
Truckers aren't just moving goods. They're making sure bakers get their chocolate chips and hotels get their tiny soaps. But truckers can't do this if they're not on the road. That's why Progressive has over 360 heavy truck employees to help truckers stay on time and on track. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
The IMPD chief is sending a message to parents and their teenagers after a 14-year-old was arrested for murdering an IU graduate at a downtown parking garage. The shooting happened on Thursday last week near the Indiana Convention Center. News 8's Kat Sandoval spoke with Chief Tanya Terry.
Tragedy. That's what Chief Tanya Terry calls it. Two people's lives forever changed in a single act of violence.
Let that sink in. 14 years old and arrested for murder. One young man tragically had his life cut short, and another is going to face lifelong consequences for his actions.
The chief didn't mince words. She is outraged by the youth violence in the Circle City and encourages parents and guardians to know where their children are.
What happened downtown last week was an absolutely tragic incident. My heart goes out to the family, friends, and loved ones of Brett Scroggum, who was killed.
The chief gave few details about the identity of the teen who pulled the trigger. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office will make the final charging decisions in this case, including whether the boy will be tried as an adult or whether his parents could be held responsible.
Absolutely. I don't think any kid wakes up and is born a killer.
Aaron Green's father was murdered by a 17-year-old, and now he helps troubled youth identify and heal from past trauma through his organization, Struggle University. His goal is to identify and address early signs of distress before it's too late through community-building exercises.
I think it's a accumulation of things that have happened over time, and if kids don't feel safe where they feel like they need to have guns, that's an adult problem. That's not a kid problem.
Green says he doesn't believe the boy should be punished as an adult for murder.
I mean, it's a really, really difficult situation. It really is. And for 14, your whole life, you just lost. Yeah. And we know prisons don't help.
Green encourages adults to create safe spaces so teens are able to open up and communicate instead of turning to guns. Chief Terry is encouraging parents and guardians to be proactive and, if needed, reach out to various organizations that can help.
This level of youth violence is not unique to Indianapolis. Other cities throughout our country are also seeing similar patterns. But we cannot accept violence involving our children as something that's normal.
I'm Kat Sandoval, Wish TV, wishtv.com.
Police say a father and a 14-year-old are in custody after a 9-year-old accidentally shot his 12-year-old brother in the leg. It happened Wednesday on Fetlock Drive near East Hannah Avenue on the city's southeast side. Police say one boy was playing video games when the other boy shot him in the thigh. At last check, he was stable but in serious condition at the hospital. Police say the gun belonged to an older teenager in the house. Investigators reported hearing the father of the brothers, DeMarcus Jackson, speaking on the phone saying he had told the 14-year-old to get rid of that firearm a week ago. IMPD Chief Tanya Terry says this is an example of parents needing to do more.
If a parent knows that their child has access to a firearm and they do nothing about it, they will be held accountable.
Jackson is now under arrest for neglect of a dependent, and the 14-year-old is at a juvenile detention center for having a gun. Wish TV and our parent company, Circle City Broadcasting, are working with community leaders to help curb youth violence through YATVAC. That stands for Youth Alternatives to Violence and Crime. We are using our platforms to provide one place where kids and their families can find information on food, housing, many other resources too. You can find out more by going to our website, wishtv.com, and just find the YATVAC page. If you're driving in Hamilton County, watch out for a closure at 146th Street and Allisonville Road today. Officials say the southwest ramp will be closed starting at around 9 this morning. It will stay closed until about 3 this afternoon. Crews say it's for construction. Until the work is done, crews ask you to avoid the area or just be extremely cautious if you drive nearby. New on Daybreak, the second highest ranking Republican in Indiana State Senate is resigning from his leadership role. Our news gathering partners at the Indiana Capitol Chronicle report that Senator Chris Garden is resigning as majority floor leader. Garden will remain as a member of the Senate, though. The Chronicle reports that his resignation comes amid talk that he could challenge current Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray for the chamber's top spot. Garden's support for redistricting split him from Bray and some other top Senate Republicans. Garden has not officially announced any plans, though, to challenge Bray at this time. Trucking companies here in Indiana say their fuel costs have nearly doubled since the war with Iran began. They say that's why you're paying more at the store. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist explains how they're connected.
Your fuel tanks are back here. So that's one.
Dennis Nottingham has about 40 trucks in his fleet.
Some of them have smaller tanks, but a typical truck will have about 200 gallons.
They carry everything from bulk cargo to groceries. He tells me fuel accounts for more than half of his costs.
It hits us harder up front because what happens is when fuel increases, the market is kind of still staying. So right now, just in the last few weeks, the market has actually shifted to help us, compensate for the price increase of the fuel.
AAA says diesel averages $5.74 a gallon statewide. Compare that to $3.55 a gallon for regular gas. Diesel is still being taxed normally.
Prior to the prices increasing, it would probably cost maybe $900 to fill the tanks for a tractor trailer, whereas now it's probably closer to $1,500.
That means truck companies have to charge more for fuel. Nottingham says he's gone from charging 35 to 40 cents per mile in fuel surcharges to nearly 80 cents in some cases. That's already showing up in consumer prices. The Consumer Price Index for April showed prices were up nearly 4% compared to April of last year. April is the most recent month for which data is available.
Even if it doesn't cost any more to harvest lettuce or to package meat or to make a T-shirt, just getting it from the factory or the farm to your store is more expensive, and that spills over into the cost of that product.
Langston says fuel costs already have driven some small companies out of business, though he doesn't have an exact number. He and Nottingham both say they're fine with the governor leaving diesel taxes in place. Langston says that means funding for road improvements. Nottingham says keeping taxes off of regular gas helps offset higher store prices.
We'll be able to manage. Like I said, we've had to make adjustments in how we run the business. Hopefully for everyone, this ends soon and that we can see a little bit of relief there and the prices come down. I have seen them come down a little bit here in the last couple weeks.
Hicks says even when the Strait of Hormuz does reopen and oil prices begin to drop, it will still take several months for consumer prices to reflect that. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The U.S. Senate voted down multiple attempts to formally shut down President Trump's anti-weaponization fund yesterday. The president proposed the fund as a deal with the Justice Department after he sued the IRS. It would set aside $1.8 billion to compensate people who claim to be victims of the government. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said earlier this week that the administration is not moving forward with the fund, but when asked about it this week, Trump would not commit to scrapping the plan permanently. The Kennedy Center is now removing references to President Trump. It comes a week after a federal judge ruled that his name had been illegally added to the Performing Arts Center. In a memo to the center staff, the institution's lawyers said all email signatures, letterheads, and other documents must reflect the name as the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, or Kennedy Center. His name will also be removed. That's Trump's name. It will also be removed from the building. The memo said the changes must be finished by Friday next week. Sports now. The Indiana Fever are back to their winning ways. The team beat the Dream in the Commissioner's Cup play last night. Guard Kelsey Mitchell led the team with 25 points, and she had a three that put her over 5,000 points for her career. After the game, she spoke about the team's meeting after losses on the West Coast and how it helped the team turn things around.
I think it speaks to culture. I think over the last couple of days, from our last day in Portland, from the time we hopped on the plane as a group, our energy shifted as a group, and I think that our culture, constantly made changes. And I think that when you have hard conversations as a group, you pour into one another. You get days like this because you actually poured in. You did the work the right way.
The Fever's next game is tomorrow on the road against the New York Liberty. It's another Commissioner's Cup game. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. The NBA has banned 2 fans from its arenas for life. The move comes after one of them was arrested during Game 1 of the NBA Finals when he ran onto the court to take a picture with San Antonio star. Officials say he's under 18 years old. The NBA has not said what role the second banned person played in that incident. Security quickly removed the person arrested and say he did not make contact with any of the players. Game 2 of the NBA Finals is tonight. The New York Knicks will face off against the San Antonio Spurs again after beating them 105-95 in the first game. Tip-off is at 8:30. You can watch that game live on our sister station, WRTV6. Prince is set to have a collection of unreleased music come out in August. Prince's estate announced the 10-track album titled Timeless, and that it will feature recordings spanning from 1977 to 2016. The announcement coincides with Prince celebrations in his hometown of Minneapolis, where the city is honoring Prince with a week-long tribute ahead of his birthday. Happening today here in Indianapolis, the Indiana Comic-Con opens at the Convention Center. It runs through Sunday, features so much, including celebrity guests, costume contests, plenty of vendors, food, fun as well. We're going to have a live interview on Daybreak about it this morning, as well as a live report starting in our 6 a.m. hour from News 8's Colin Bailey. Wish TV has a brand new news app. It has an upgraded live streaming experience. You can also control your news experience and customize the content that you see. If you already had our app on your phone and you get automatic updates, then it's already there. It updated. If you don't, just go to either Android or Apple Store or the App Store, and you can just download the new app there. Just look for Wish TV. It's come in handy. I checked it out yesterday, so hopefully you will too. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ever notice how life's best stories don't happen in your living room? They happen on the open road, out on the water, or parked under the stars. At Progressive, they get that you want to focus on the experience, not worry about the what-ifs. That's why they offer quality insurance designed for your ride, whether that's a boat, RV, or motorcycle. Adventure with confidence. Visit Progressive.com and see how easy it is to protect your favorite way to get away. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in D.C. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.
Truckers aren't just moving goods. They're making sure bakers get their chocolate chips and hotels get their tiny soaps. But truckers can't do this if they're not on the road. That's why Progressive has over 360 heavy truck employees to help truckers stay on time and on track. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
For a small business owner, every day is full of surprises. Some great, some not so great. Like when a client cancels their order at the last minute. But here's a surprise you will like. Progressive provides small business owners with 30 customizable coverage options to help keep their business going strong. So go ahead, surprise yourself. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates and third-party insurers. Coverages not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.